In northeastern Africa, a mighty river begins its journey, known as the Abay in Ethiopia and the Blue Nile to the world. This river is not just a geographical feature, it is a symbol of life and vitality. This river is more than a waterway, it's a lifeline, shaping civilizations and sustaining millions. From ancient times to the present day, the Abay has been central to the lives of those who dwell along its banks. The Abay is the Nile's primary tributary, delivering the water and fertile silt that have defined the region for centuries. Its waters nourish the land, making it fertile and productive. Its annual floods have dictated the rhythm of life, supporting agriculture and forging a deep connection between land, water, and people. The cycles of flooding and receding have created a unique ecosystem that supports diverse forms of life. For Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, the river is woven into their identity, prosperity, and survival. It is a source of sustenance, a means of transport, and a cultural touchstone. The Abay's journey is one of transformation, from a sacred spring in Ethiopia to its union with the White Nile in Sudan, and onward to Egypt and the Mediterranean. Each stage of its journey tells a story of change and continuity. We'll follow the Abay's course, exploring how it sustains life, powers progress, and challenges nations to cooperate for a peaceful future. The river's influence extends beyond borders, demanding collaboration and mutual respect among the nations it touches. The Abay's story begins at Gish Abay, a sacred spring nestled deep in Ethiopia's highlands. Revered for centuries, this spring is not only a source of water, but also a place of spiritual significance for local communities who gather here to pay homage to the river's origins. Fed by countless tributaries, the Abay flows onward into Lake Tana, Ethiopia's largest lake and a cradle of biodiversity, tradition, and ancient history. Here, fishermen in traditional papyrus boats glide across the water, and birds flock to the lake's lush shores. Leaving the lake behind, the river plunges into a vast and dramatic gorge, one of Africa's largest canyons, carving through rugged mountains with relentless force, shaping the land over millennia. This wild, untamed stretch isolated remote communities for centuries, making travel and communication difficult. Yet, it also preserved unique cultures, languages, and ecosystems found nowhere else in the world. Gathering the heavy monsoon rains, the river swells dramatically, its waters turning dark with fertile silt, giving rise to the name Blue Nile, and nourishing the lands along its banks. Crossing into Sudan, the river slows and widens, nourishing the fertile Gezira plain. Here, its life-giving waters support millions of people, sustaining agriculture and entire communities. At Khartoum, the Abay meets the White Nile in a dramatic confluence, forming the Nile's main artery, a vital lifeline that flows northward to Egypt. From its sacred spring to the mighty confluence, the Abay's journey is a story of nature's power and resilience, shaping landscapes, cultures, and the destiny of nations along its winding path. The Abay's greatest gift is fertility, a force that has shaped civilizations for thousands of years. It carves a ribbon of green through vast, arid lands, creating a striking contrast between life and desert. In Ethiopia, farmers ingeniously terrace steep hillsides, coaxing crops like teff and coffee from the rugged earth. The river's unique climate and seasonal floods shape their harvests, dictating when and how they plant and reap. Downstream in Sudan, the Abay's waters are harnessed by the vast Gezira scheme. Here, a network of canals irrigates millions of acres, transforming once barren plains into a patchwork of productive farmland and supporting entire communities. In Egypt, famously called the gift of the Nile, nearly all life depends on this river. Over 95% of the population lives along its banks, their villages and cities hugging the water's edge. Ancient basin irrigation systems have evolved into modern dams and mechanized canals, enabling year-round farming, multiple harvests, and a reliable food supply for millions. From the silt-laden highlands of Ethiopia to the fertile delta in Egypt, the Abay's rich waters and nourishing silt sustain both crops and communities, weaving a thread of life through the heart of Africa. Without the Abay, the relentless desert would quickly reclaim these lands, erasing the green lifeline that supports millions. Every drop of the Abay is a drop of life for the region, a precious resource that nourishes people, animals, and the land itself. Beyond agriculture, the Abay is the daily source of water for millions. In villages, families gather at the river for drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Life revolves around its flow. Urban centers like Khartoum and Cairo depend on the river for treated water, supporting health and growth. Pollution from agriculture and industry threatens water quality, making protection and sanitation vital. The river is also a place of community, where people gather, fish, wash, and celebrate traditions. Its presence shapes culture, stories, and identity across generations. The Abay is not just a resource, but a living companion to those along its banks. The Abay's power is harnessed for energy, transforming lives and economies. Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam, Africa's largest hydroelectric project, aims to provide electricity for millions and export power to neighbors. For Ethiopia, it's a symbol of progress and self-sufficiency. Sudan's Rosaire and Sennar dams generate power and regulate irrigation, supporting agriculture and cities. Yet, large dams alter the river's flow and raise concerns downstream, especially in Egypt. Balancing energy needs with water security requires trust and cooperation among nations. The Abay's energy is a shared asset. Its development must benefit all. The Abay's waters are a source of tension as well as life. Ethiopia sees the river as a sovereign resource for development. Egypt views it as essential for survival. The Grand Renaissance Dam has heightened disputes, with Egypt fearing reduced water flow and threats to its agriculture and economy. Colonial-era treaties favored Egypt and Sudan, leaving Ethiopia with little say, agreements Ethiopia never recognized. The core conflict: historical rights versus equitable use of a shared resource. Downstream nations seek guarantees on dam operations and water flow, especially during droughts. Negotiations are complex, involving technical, legal, and diplomatic challenges. Resolving these issues is one of the region's greatest diplomatic tests. Despite challenges, the nations of the Abay Basin know cooperation is essential for a stable future. The Nile Basin Initiative offers a forum for dialogue, data sharing, and joint projects in power, agriculture, and conservation. Technical cooperation, like coordinated dam management, can benefit all, reducing floods and providing electricity. The key is shifting from mistrust to shared stewardship, seeing the river as a collective asset. A lasting agreement must balance Ethiopia's development, Sudan's agriculture, and Egypt's water security. Flexibility and fairness are vital as climate and populations change. The Abay's future depends on unity. Its waters hold the promise of peace and prosperity for all.